The Pubg community seems to be growing again, but why? My name's Brian, and in this one, we're discussing exactly that in response to a video that the Average Sniper recently posted. I'll leave a link to Average Sniper's video in the comments. Be sure to check it out. It's a much bigger channel than I do, so if you've come across me before him, then I'll be very surprised. Whilst we discuss this, I'm going to have some recent Pubg gameplay on in the background. To start with, I want to make it clear that I'm quite new to Pubg and gaming in general. I became a gaming enthusiast about 3 or 4 years ago, starting out with Fortnite, moving into COD and Warzone, and then getting into Arma and Pubg about a year ago. There's been a bit of overlap in all those, and Pubg has been on and off until about a month ago, when I basically started playing it religiously. But please, don't let my noobness put you off this video. As a teacher of fabrication and welding, one thing I find interesting is how the new blood often get into the industry for a completely different reason than I did. For me, it was making things and working with my hands. For the students, it's often because of their interest in advancements in technology. So perhaps a noob's perspective as to why there's potentially more Pubg players right now is exactly what's needed. So let's get into it. First, and what's for me one of the main instigators, is Pubg's pureness. And what I mean by that is a lack of endorphin-inducing in-game interactions. The majority of people playing this game will have played Warzone. You'll have been faced by the on-screen and audible alerts every time you find a rare weapon or a rare chest to the dun-dun-dun-dun sound, specifically put there to release endorphins inside you to make you feel good about yourself. 9 times out of 10, you haven't even really done anything. And that's why the noise is there. It's to give a false sense of achievement, and more games seem to be featuring this. And in the case of COD, what's really annoying is they can get this feature right, but the rest of the game is full of bugs and glitches. Except the item shop, of course. Pubg doesn't have any of that, and that's why it's known by many in the gaming community to be a hardcore and unforgiving game. Because the only reward you get is the elimination or eliminations, and if you have a good match, the chicken dinner. If you don't get any elimination, you can spend 20 minutes looting, wandering around the map, only to get one shot killed and sent straight back to the lobby in the blink of an eye. Many might say that will put players off, but to me, it does the opposite, including myself. The fact that the game is so unforgiving and doesn't manipulate me into enjoying it is exactly why I've moved from BR such as Warzone and Fortnite to the fierce grounds of Pubg. The gaming community is maturing and it seems to be seeking a respect with that. Next on my list is the simplicity of Pubg. Now Pubg is a tough game to learn, don't get me wrong, and that's largely because of the unforgiving nature of the game. But the mechanics are so simple. You pick a grenade up and you know it's going to either harm or hinder the enemy, or if you mess up, you. You shoot the enemy with a gun. Big guns have big recoil. You're a human being. You don't have any fancy perks or fancy character abilities. See that level 3 vest over there? That's going to give you more protection than the level 2 vest you currently have on, which is why it's glowing. There's no rifts that transport you from one side of the map to the other. If you're lucky, you'll find an emergency redeploy pack that you have to put up in the wide open and then hang around for a minute whilst the helicopter comes and picks you up. There's no fancy EMP grenades, no shockwaves, no laser guns, no fancy witchcraft. Basically, a gun's a gun, a grenade is a grenade, a car's a car. And if you use one of them against the enemy, or they against you, one of you is in trouble. And it's so refreshing and simple. Land, loot, survive. It's about skill, knowing the weapons, and how to use them, not who's got the lucky loot. Then we have the hacker situation. Now, every game on Earth, its core fanbase says it's got the worst hacker situation, and Pubg is no exception. But as a previous COD player, let me assure you that Pubg's hacker situation is nothing compared to COD's. In Warzone, you'll face a hacker in pretty much every lobby you enter. Not only that, but Pubg's server tick rate is 60Hz. Not the best, but much better than Warzone's 20Hz and Fortnite's 30Hz servers, which means you're not going to be getting that frustration of being killed behind walls and corners. So naturally, what are players to do? They're going to look for an alternative, and why not Pubg? The free game that doesn't require you to purchase a base game so that you'll actually have some good guns. I'm talking to you, COD. Let's discuss the pace. Pubg is, in my opinion, the best pace of any BR currently available. It's a Friday night, and you jump on the game with your mates. You can take that first match steady, chill out, have a conversation, maybe camp some compounds, pour some petrol on the floor and call your mate into the room, then set fire to the fuel. Why wouldn't you? It's good fun. But then, once you've got some games under your belt, you can go full sweat mode, chasing squads, getting elims, and maybe the chicken dinner. But if you don't, it's no harm, because the game you're playing is hard, and you've enjoyed the challenge. Speaking of enjoyment, if you're enjoying this video, please smash that like button. Let me know below if you've got any thoughts on the subject, and maybe hit that follow or subscribe button so you get notified about future videos. I stream regularly on Rumble, and if my sub count starts to go up on YouTube, I'll definitely start streaming there too. Last of all, the game is so much more noob friendly than it used to be. When I first started playing, there was no training area, there was no TDM, 1v1 mode. All there was a bunch of experienced players who spawned into a massive map with me and crushed me like an ant. Now you can go and play with different weapons and learn them without having to spawn into a fresh game. It's fast, it's quick, and it's simple. To summarise, I believe the PUBG community is growing again, because just like PUBG, the gaming community is maturing. It's over fancy gimmicks and just wants a simple, pure experience. At least, that's what I've been looking for, and I feel like I found it in PUBG.